हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। आज जिस टॉपिक पे मैं वीडियो बना रही हूँ वो इग्नू का BPSC 102 यूनिट 1 द मेकिंग ऑफ द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। इस पे नोट्स दो पार्ट में आएंगे। आज मैं पहले पार्ट का आप लोगों को नोट्स प्रोवाइड करा रही हूँ, फिर नेक्स्ट वीडियो में आपको इस जो है बाकी के जो टॉपिक्स बचे हैं चैप्टर के उस पे मैं आप लोगों को नोट्स प्रोवाइड कराऊंगी। तो सबसे पहले हम चैप्टर के इंट्रोडक्शन से शुरू करते हैं। द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया वाज अडॉप्टेड ऑन 26 November 1949, which means it was finalized by the Constituent Assembly on that day, but it became operative 2 months after its adoption, that is on 26 January 1950, which is also known as the date of its commencement. January 26th as the original date of achievement of independence. It was this date, 26 January in 1930, which the Indian National Congress had first celebrated as the Independence Day of India. उसके बाद नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है एवोल्यूशन ऑफ द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन 1853 to 1930 1858 to 1935। इसके अंडर जो टॉपिक्स हम पढ़ेंगे वो है द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1935 एंड अदर एक्ट्स। तो सबसे पहले मैंने जो है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1858 पे नोट्स बनाए हैं। इट प्रोवाइडेड फॉर अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ सेंट्रलाइज एंड डिसेंट्रलाइज पावर स्ट्रक्चर टू गवर्न इंडिया। Centralized structure was introduced in the areas which were under the direct control of the crown. These areas were known as British India provinces or provinces. The decentralized structure was introduced in the areas which were not under the direct control of the crown. These areas were ruled by the Indian princes and were known as princely states or states. Under this system, the princes had freedom to govern in all internal matters of their princely states, but they were subject to the British control. In the centralized structure of power which was introduced in the provinces, all powers to govern India vested in the Secretary of State for India and through him in the Crown. Next Act है India Act 1909. This act introduced for the first time a representative element in British India which included elected non-official members. This act also introduced separate representation to Muslim community. उसके बाद है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1935। The Government of India Act 1935 was different from the earlier Government of India Act as you have read above. Under those acts, the government in the British India provinces was unitary. It means that the same government operated at different vertical level unlike the earlier act. The Government of India Act 1935 also provided for provincial government enjoying provincial autonomy. It provided safeguard for minorities. Such safeguard included provisions for separate representation to Muslim, Sikh, the European, Indian Christian and Anglo-Indian. उसके बाद है द नेहरू रिपोर्ट 1928, फर्स्ट इंडियन इनिशिएटिव टू ड्राफ्ट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. The first attempt by Indians themselves to prepare a constitution of India was made in the Nehru Report 1928. Earlier effort by Indian was made in the name of the Swaraj, which means self-rule, by leaders of the Indian national movement during the non-cooperation movement in 1921 to 22. The Nehru Report was known as such because it was named after the chairman of its drafting committee, Motilal Nehru. It also raised demands for universal suffrage for men and women adult. Indeed, it was in 1934, a few years after the preparation of the Nehru Report, that the Indian National Congress officially demanded a constitution of Indian people without the interference of outsider. उसके बाद नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है फॉर्मेशन ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली। इसमें सबसे पहला टॉपिक है आपका द क्रिप्स मिशन। 1942, the British government sent its cabinet member Sir Stafford Cripps with a draft declaration on proposal to be implemented at the end of the World War II, provided both the Muslim League and the Indian National Congress had agreed to accept them. The draft proposal of the Cripps mission recommended the following: providing dominion status to India, that is, equal partnership of the British, Commonwealth of Nations, all provinces ruled by the British India government, and Indian state, that is, ruled by the Indian princes. Both the Indian National Congress and the Muslim League did not accept the proposal of the Cripps mission. The Muslim League demanded that India should be divided on the communal line and some provinces should form an independent state of Pakistan, and there should be two constituent assemblies, one for Pakistan and another for India. Next term is the cabinet mission. The British government sent another delegation of the cabinet members known as the cabinet delegation, which came to be known as the cabinet mission plan. It consisted of three cabinet members: Lord Pethick Lawrence, Sir Stafford Cripps and Mr. A.V. Alexander. The cabinet delegation also failed to bring the Indian National Congress and the Muslim League to an agreement. Jurisdiction over subjects of foreign affairs, defense and communication, all residuary powers would belong to the provinces and the state. The union would have executive and legislature consisting of the representatives from the provinces and the state, but for decision relating to a major communal issue. Last topic of this video is election to the Constituent Assembly. The members of the Constituent Assembly were elected by the Provincial Legislative Assembly. The Constituent Assembly first met on December 9, 1946. It was boycotted by the Muslim League. So students, ये था आज का वीडियो अगर पसंद आया हो तो प्लीज़ इसको लाइक कीजिएगा, शेयर कीजिएगा, सब्सक्राइब कीजिएगा मेरे चैनल को, बेल आइकन दबाइएगा ताकि जब भी मैं कोई लेटेस्ट वीडियो डालूँ उसकी नोटिफिकेशन आप तक पहुंच जाए। आज इस चैप्टर का फर्स्ट पार्ट आया है, नेक्स्ट वीडियो में इस चैप्टर का जो है सेकंड पार्ट आ जाएगा। और जिन बच्चों को इस चैप्टर से रिलेटेड नोट्स चाहिए हो, प्रीवियस ईयर सॉल्व्ड असाइनमेंट्स चाहिए हो लेटेस्ट, या प्रीवियस ईयर सॉल्व क्वेश्चन पेपर चाहिए हो, तो वो मेरे व्हाट्सअप नंबर पर कांटेक्ट कर सकता है। नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में मैं अपना व्हाट्सअप नंबर दे दूँगी, आपको सिर्फ उस पर मैसेज करना है, कॉल नहीं करना है, ठीक है। तो आज के लिए बस इतना ही, नेक्स्ट वीडियो तक बाय।